Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being with us as we celebrate our 2023 accomplishments together, including our hires, our promotions, and our retirements. I want to start with some thank yous this morning. Our admin team, particularly Megan Maynard and Karen Kendall and Shauna Tillman-Knight, who are in the back corner here, were instrumental in pulling this together. It has been a very, very busy first quarter. And this has been one of about 100 things that we've been juggling collectively together in the front office. So thank you to all three of you for making this happen. Additionally, we can't make an event like this happen without the community center staff. They're just an invaluable part of the team and have a major contribution, significant contribution to everything that we do here, and we so appreciate them. Our marketing team is here, the two Marks. Thank you for being here this morning. We always appreciate your help and contribution as well. And I'd like to welcome and recognize a few of our guests here this morning as well. We have with us this morning John Amundsen, our city manager. John, thank you for your support, your leadership, and for being with us here this morning. We really appreciate it. We've got Joe Schissel, our deputy city manager. We've got Drew Florence, our assistant city manager. We have Dave Nair, interim chief of police, and his command team with him. We have Cindy Rentz, I think I saw, our previous city manager here with us this morning. And we have Ricky Walsh, 7th District International Association of Firefighters Vice President. Rick, nice to have you with us this morning. We also have a number of retirees here. It's always great to see you joining us. And with that, let's get this thing going. We come together this morning to celebrate some of our individual accomplishments, to welcome new team members, and to wish a few of our long-term teammates the very best in the next chapter. It's also an opportunity for us to say thank you to those of you who support our first responders, who take care of things while they're at work for 48 to 72 hours at a time, and who offer an ear and a shoulder when we have a tough shift. I'd like to have all of our family members who are here with us today to stand and have all of us in uniform show our appreciation for those folks. So if you're a family member, friend, here in support of somebody in uniform, please stand up and let us give you a round of applause as our appreciation. I also want to offer my personal thanks to you, all of our family and friends who support us so that we can provide the services in this community that we provide on a day-to-day basis. For those in uniform, this morning we celebrate with each of you who have hit milestones in 2024, whether at entry level, promotion, or for those chosen few, the golden gate of retirement. We're very excited for all of you. We're here to celebrate those individual accomplishments or milestones, but we're also here to celebrate what we do together to protect and enhance the quality of life in our community. We've built a remarkable organization together, not because we have great officers and dedicated firefighters, which we do. We continue to accomplish the things that we do because of the contribution to the team that each of you makes individually and collectively, day in and day out, as you report to the station and do your duty in the community with a servant's heart through each and every one of you. Our future has never been brighter. And together we'll continue to transform our service to the community and positively impact the community that we so proudly represent here this morning. As is the case every single year when we come together for this event, there's way more amazing things going on in the organization than we can possibly cover in the little bit of time that we have together today. So as important and as happy as we are for each of these individual milestones, I'd ask everybody to keep in mind that everything we celebrate today, not a single item on that list is accomplished in isolation. We are able to accomplish the things that we do together because of the people that we work with, because of other departments in the city who come alongside us and who we come alongside, who support us, and because of this amazing community that we serve. So as we begin our time together this morning celebrating, let's also keep in mind our appreciation for all those people, the organization, the city of Richland, our coworkers, our department, our family members, and the community that we serve. With that, the first section of accomplishments that we'd like to celebrate this morning is our formal education. And we have a couple of members that have completed bachelor's degrees, actually a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. For this section, we're going to ask you to stand in place, and we'll offer our congratulations with applause at the end of each section here. So in terms of college education, we have two people who've hit those milestones. We have Battalion Chief James Hempstead, who completed a bachelor's degree in healthcare management. And then Lieutenant James Stovall completed a master's degree in leadership and management. Let's offer these two our congratulations. We also wanted to acknowledge the continued investment and work in our CPR and cardiac survival initiative, which is Heart Safe Richland. I'd like the following people to stand up, and let's recognize their contribution to maybe one of the most impactful programs or initiatives we've ever had in this fire department. Josh Smith, Michael Van Beek, Andy Sabin, Colt O'Brien, and AJ Fondrick. If you could please stand. I know AJ's here. Yep, thank you, guys. I'd also like to note that AJ joined Josh Smith in achieving the 40 Under 40 award this year. So very cool, and we're very proud of that for you as well, AJ. Thank you. Next, I'd like to acknowledge the Tri-City Regional Recruit Academy. We have an academy that we host locally in partnership with the City of Pasco. It is a very cool team approach there, and we've created, I think, something really special that recognizes the unique contributions of each recruit and also orients those recruits to a shared and collaborative learning environment and a collaborative application of those skills on the streets when we go to work on fires or other events together in the community across jurisdictional lines. That academy is in progress this year as we speak, and our 12 recruits are there and participating in that, along with our academy staff. But I'd like to recognize the academy staff from 2023 and their contribution to helping make that happen. So if I could have Kevin Landon, Training Battalion Chief, stand up. I know Kevin's here somewhere too. There he is, right in the back. Scott Clemenson, Captain and Training Officer. And John Walling, ACO. John is not here with us. And Zach Hannibal, who's one of our ACOs as well. So let's give these guys a round of applause as well. And as we head into the next section and do our badging, keep in mind next year we will have 12 entry-level people coming across the stage here to get badged. So plan for a little more time next year. At this point, I'm going to ask Deputy Chief Randy Oss to come forward and take the next section of the program. And I'd like to invite the chief officers to come forward as well, and we'll do a line up front here for each of the next categories. Randy?
Good morning. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you, Chief. Before we jump into the badging and retirement portion of the program, I did want to just take a minute and recognize the 12 individuals who have been most recently hired. They were hired in January of 2024. And like the Chief said, they're over at the Academy doing some really cool fire and EMS training. I'm just going to name off the 12, and we can give them a round of applause even though they're not here. Hayden Boarding, Jonathan Cox, Brian Deal, Clinton Gelderman, Trevor Hinkle, Jacob Hopkins, Brock Nelson, Clyde Sims, Jordan Stromstad, Ethan Wickstrom, Brian Winston, and Wade Yoakum. If we could give them a hand, that'd be great. All right, so now we'll move on to the badging portion of the program. The badge that we present to our newly promoted officers and that is pinned on our new hires at the end of probation or at the end of the academy has a rich history associated with bravery, service, and honor. We often talk about the badge as if it is in and itself the goal we strive for. But we know that it represents far more than a new job or a promotion. It's a symbol of the solemn role and responsibility within our communities that we take on when we accept the badge. It represents the hours and hours of preparation, study, and mentoring that we put in preparing for the next role. It represents our passion to serve, our accountability to our team, our attitude, and our work ethic. It represents the sacred bond that exists between our community members who are experiencing their worst day and each of you who bring your very best to their assistance. In January of 2023, Richland Fire and Emergency Services hired 6 new members. 3 of them attended the 16-week Tri-City Regional Academy and graduated in June of last year. These 3 members dedicated countless hours on and off the clock to learn and master their craft in preparation of becoming a valuable team member. Their leadership throughout the academy and their thirst for knowledge upon returning to their assigned shift speaks volume to their character. So that was 3 of them. But in typical Richland Fire and Emergency Services fashion, we thought if we could do 1 academy, then why not try to do 2? So last year we embarked on a new venture at Richland, and we did a lateral academy as well. And we brought in 3 lateral firefighters from other organizations and put them through a abbreviated 5-week academy. So these individuals came in with numerous years of experience from other departments, and they came in and learned the Richland Fire and Emergency Services culture. They learned about how we operated. They learned about our community. And over that 5-week period, we're able to get situated and prepped to be assigned to shift. So as a new program, we couldn't have asked for a better group of individuals. Each of them came to our organization with humility. They were excited, and they were eager to learn the Richland way. So today we're celebrating these 6 individuals and their completion of their respective academies, as well as completing their probationary year. So the 2023 hires, if you guys could make your way up with the individuals who are going to be pinning you, that would be fantastic. I'll line up right here. Like the chief said, next year it's going to be double this. So Kyle Felmley, he was being badged by his wife Karen. Congratulations, Kyle. You guys want to come right up front here? Where everybody can see. Trent Nelson, being badged by his wife Kelly. Zach Weinert, being badged by his wife Emma. AJ Fondrick, being badged by his wife Tammy. Joseph Schwartz, being badged by his wife Bree. and Joel Murillo being badged by his wife, Tiffany. In 2023, we also had the opportunity to promote 4 members to the various ranks throughout the organization. These members' dedication to continuous improvement and desire to serve our community have really set them apart. These members have set the bar high and have been a great example for the rest of the organization on what it means to be an officer here at Richland Fire. So the 2023 promotions, if you were promoted, can you guys please come up? All right, Ryan Burkheimer promoted from lieutenant to captain. His wife Harmony will be doing his pinning. Zach Wallace, firefighter to lieutenant. His wife Serena, and their little ones. You guys turn around. Brian Bowe, from lieutenant to captain, and his wife Sadie. And Joe DeRossi, from captain to battalion chief. His daughter, Savannah and Rocco. Feeling the burn in your legs?
For some reason, there's some attention to detail.
Can you remind all of them to get a group photo at the end? Gail will grab them out.
Oh, okay. All right, so the next section of the program is going to be honoring our retirees. So today we get the opportunity to honor another group of extraordinary individuals whose dedication, bravery, and selflessness have left an incredible mark on our community. As we bid farewell to our retiring members, we take a moment to reflect on their remarkable careers and the profound impact they have had on all of our lives. For years, these individuals have stood on the front lines with unwavering resolve and commitment to our community. Theirs is a profession marked by sacrifice, often performed under the most challenging of circumstances. As we discussed earlier, being a firefighter is much more than a job, it's a calling to serve, to protect, and to make a difference in the lives of others. Those members who retired in 2023 have answered this call with courage, honor, and humility. They have dedicated their lives to the service of others, truly embodying the culture and philosophy of Richland Fire and Emergency Services. As our retiring firefighters embark on this new chapter of their lives, let us not forget the legacy that they leave behind. They have touched the hearts of countless individuals in our community and inspired future generations to follow in their footsteps. So as we celebrate their well-deserved retirement, let us also celebrate the impact that they have had. Let us honor their courage, their dedication, and unwavering commitment to serving others. And let us express our heartfelt thanks for their years of service, wishing them all the best in the next phase of their journey. To our retiring members, we say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice and all your commitment to this community. May your retirement be filled with joy and fulfillment. Yeah, it's all very well deserved. You've truly earned it. Thank you. So we have 3 members. The first is Trevor Ergeson, and the chief is going to say a few things about him.
Battalion Chief Mike Van Beek wrote a few words about Trevor that I'm going to share with you this morning. I will share one brief memory or lesson learned that I got from Trevor, and I worked with Trevor for probably the first 3 or 4 years of my career here in the department, off and on. And I learned, those of you that worked with Trevor know that every shift was a learning opportunity, learning experience with him. But the thing that I will always remember and appreciate and will put a smile on my face is Trevor taught me that it is always better to go straight to the battalion chief's office after the call and say, Chief, you might get a phone call on this one, rather than letting them get surprised by the phone call that's coming in after that one. So good advice, and as I said, you could not work with Trevor without being a better person and a better first responder. So from Battalion Chief Van Beek, I was in paramedic school when I started working with Trevor, and together we made a perfect combination. Trevor was never the book smart paramedic, but he was the most street smart medic I've ever worked with. Trevor knew when people were sick, and he knew what needed to be done to save their life. I, going through school, had the book smarts, but I lacked the time on the street. Trevor was also extremely calm and could command a scene. There were more than a few times would be in the back of the medic, and he would yell, "Everyone stop. Take a breath, calm down." You can hear Trevor saying that, right? Now let's act like we've been doing this before. To which everyone would calm down, refocus, and get back to work. Trevor was also a great storyteller and always had great stories. There were many times we spent way too much time at the kitchen table listening and laughing at the stories he'd tell. The best part is that many of his stories were about him spending time with his family and making memories. We always talk about a healthy work-life balance, and Trevor was a great example of living life to its fullest on our off-duty as well. Trevor also taught me that your suitcase can only carry so much, so don't let it get full. I think that's good advice for all of us. As a company officer, one of your primary focuses is to develop your people, and I can say without a doubt that I received more mentoring from Trevor than he ever received from me. I'll always be forever grateful of our time together and how it shaped me to be better. Again, those are words from Battalion Chief Michael Van Beek, and I would echo every bit of that. The years that I spent with Trevor, particularly on the ambulance in our city, are a treasured time in my career. Trevor was not able to join us this morning. We have a shadow box with his badges ready for him as well that we'll make sure that he gets in short order. And I'd like to open the mic to any of our other chief officers that have a memory or a short story to tell about Trevor this morning. Anybody? Okay.
Once I get one out of the way.
Yep.
I'll share a quick story, and it's the valuable lesson that the senior firefighter can hold in certain situations. And I'll put your attention over to Captain Ricky Walsh in the corner. The 3 of us were on a roof with a fire, And it finally reared its head, came up through the chimney chase, and I was right on it. And Captain Walsh is very, very aggressive, and I was raised under Captain Walsh, and I was all over this fire, straight streaming, pushing it, trying to push it down, and it got real hot. So I opened the fog pattern because I needed to cool myself quickly to stay in the fight. And Rick just starts yelling in my ear. I can't repeat some of the words, but if you know him, I can guarantee you you know what it is. So he's screaming out in my ear, straight stream, straight stream, straight stream, and I'm like, the fog closed down, I push it back again, and finally Trevor steps in and goes, Rick, he's getting burned. That's why he keeps doing that. So it was nice to have that senior voice there pushing the captain back like he's got it, just he's trying to protect himself. So that's what I really appreciated about Trevor from day one. He was a senior person, and he really looked out for everybody around him.
Thanks, Joe. So although Trevor's not with us this morning, he's with us in spirit, and if we could offer him our congratulations through a round of applause, that would be much appreciated. Next up, we're going to celebrate Battalion Chief Michael Ruley, and I'm going to hand it back to Randy to take that one.
Mike, you want to come up? You can stand next to me, buddy. So Michael Ruley, service dates 9/7/1993 to 6/26/2023. Just shy of 30 years of serving this organization and this community. Mike began his career in September of 1993. Prior to serving here, he did a stint in the Navy for 9 years. Mike had some really difficult station locations in the Navy, one of them being Hawaii and the other being San Diego, California. Some tough ones, no doubt, but thank you for your service, Mike. During his tenure with Richland Fire and EMS, Mike rose through the ranks and held almost every position that the organization offered at some point in his career. He began as a firefighter, quickly completing his paramedic certification, and maintained his paramedic certification for 28 out of the 30 years that he was here at the organization. He then promoted to the ranks of lieutenant, captain, and finally the battalion chief position. Also held the role of the medical officer as well as the fire marshal, fire inspector. There have been a couple of positions that have been recently recreated or created in the organization, and I was going to offer the opportunity if you wanted to come back and fill those roles as well.
No, thanks.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Personally, Mike's been a great colleague and even a better friend for me. I've always enjoyed hearing his stories, having the opportunity to bend his ear, getting my ear bent, and really getting his perspective on all things, all of the happenings throughout the organization and throughout life. Mike has a servant heart, 9 years in the military and almost 30 years here. It really speaks volume about who he is and what he represents. And his retirement has been felt across the organization. So, Mike, thank you for your time here, and hopefully you're enjoying retirement.
Yeah, you got to wait here for a second.
Okay.
And yeah, I forgot to tell you, you get to say a few words.
I got to.
Yeah. I would again echo everything that was said there, and I would add, when I was brand new here, 20 years old, going on 16, Mike Ruley and Trevor Ergeson were two of the people that I worked with most consistently for several years. And for those few of you that are left from that era, we spend a lot of time coping with the toxic culture around this joint in the gym, pushing a lot of iron around, and that's been something that stayed with me, I think, with all of us for our whole careers, is appreciating and being able to invest in staying healthy and getting to a healthy retirement. As a brand new employee here, it was really cool to be able to work with the likes of Trevor and Mike. Mike being a grizzled Navy veteran with tons and tons of life experience and some great stories about diving in the Navy. And just having that connection, that camaraderie, and the ability to huddle up and kind of watch out for each other and help each other through the ranks all these years and get to the end of our careers is pretty spectacular. And just want to offer my appreciation, Mike, for your contribution to the organization and for how you've helped me personally and also for what you've contributed to the organization. So thank you. And the same thing I would offer up if anybody would like to say a word from the chief officers here.
Thank you, Chief. Well, I'm not going to be as flamboyant or flashy as Joe. The thing that stands out about Mike throughout our career and our careers parallel from a timeline is Mike's ability to be adaptive and resilient. Organizations cannot be successful without individuals stepping into a vacancy or stepping into a void in their organization and move forward. Mike's came in as a firefighter, retired as a battalion chief, but along that journey he went to school and served his community as a paramedic. But where he really started to thrive is when he jumped into an EMS officer position. He didn't only fill it, he evolved the position and our service level. Then he stepped into another thing called the fire marshal and fire prevention. So each time he filled a void or a need for our organization, but he filled it and he evolved the position. That is something that I've admired about Mike throughout his career, is his ability to adapt and be resilient. If all of us do that, the organization will flourish over time and be amazing for you. So Mike, thank you for that leadership and that guidance and somebody to look up to in that realm.
Okay, we gotta, do you want to say a word? Oh, yeah, perfect.
Brevity is not my gift, but every day is a new day. I wanted to say how much I appreciated getting to work with Mike. We even shared an office in the conference room for a little while. And you tolerated my enthusiasm and energy in a way that has helped me be a better person today. And when I was on shift, I guess that was a couple of years ago now, something I really appreciate is every time he'd come to the station to visit, he brought a smile and a good attitude. Regardless of what was going on, you could always count on Mike to come in and make things better. And thank you for doing that, because that made a huge impact on our shift and our department. So thank you.
So come on forward, and we've got a, yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, this microphone is agile today. Our final retiree that we're here to honor this morning is Damon Bryan. Damon served from 8/22/94 to 7/30/2023. I had the honor and privilege of hiring in with Damon, and when I read the official statement, I will share a memory there or two as well. Captain Damon Bryan retired from serving the community after nearly 29 years with Richland Fire and Emergency Services. Damon started his career with the city on August 22nd, 1994. Prior to joining Richland Fire, he worked at Hanford Fire Department and was an active member of Benton County Fire District 2. During his time at Richland, he worked through the ranks, starting as a firefighter, was promoted to deputy training officer in 2005, lieutenant in 2007, captain in 2011, and Damon also served in leadership roles in Local 1052 throughout his career. Damon was a go-to person in the organization from day one, his entire career. Regardless of rank or leadership position, he helped shape the organization, and he contributed to the transformation of this place that has taken place over the last 15 years. He's still regarded as talented, passionate, steady leader whose depth and individual knowledge are truly, truly missed. Damon spent his career helping to define what a servant leader looks like for our organization, even at the point that he reached or was approaching the end of his career and knew that retirement was in sight. He continued to invest in his crew and in his shift and in the department. He was actively involved in the Muscular Dystrophy Association, helping to raise thousands of dollars through the Fill the Boot campaign, and also serving as a camp counselor. He's also personally raised tens of thousands of dollars, in fact, over $75,000 for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society through their annual firefighter stair climb event. I offer, on behalf of the whole organization and myself, Damon, our sincere congratulations and best wishes for you and your family for this amazing career and for the very well-deserved retirement that we hope you're duly enjoying right now. So if you would come forward, we'll share a few more words with you, and we've got a shadow box for you as well. The thing that I'd like to share personally, as I said, I was able to hire in with Damon, and I was 20, but a very young 20. Had no idea what I'd gotten myself into or what was up and what was down. And from day one in recruit school together, Damon just had a leadership presence. He came with industry experience and some life experience that really guided our whole class. There was 5 of us that hired in together. And he was a resource for all of us, literally from day one, even as brand new employees in the organization. And he never really left that role for his entire career. As I said, he's been one of our go-to people for the entire time, and I deeply, deeply appreciate that, Damon. Very happy, and I offer my personal congratulations as well. And make the same offer if we have any chief officers that would like to say a word.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you, Damon. I have had the honor to work with Damon, not as much as I wanted to, but Damon is a builder of 2 great things, for sure. Many things, but 2 great things. Damon builds amazing things, tables, furniture, all kinds of wonderful opportunities. And the thing that it struck out in my mind this morning, I was thinking about things, to go above and beyond. I was at shift at Station 2 with Captain Rent's out there. Where are you at? Where'd you go? Damon, at the end of the day, we've been running a bunch of calls like Station 2 normally does. Damon's goal was to get to every station and make sure we all got to play the Jeopardy game with a box that you hit the button. And he built that for this application. And it was after 5 o'clock. He waited for us, if I remember the story correctly, he waited for us just to make sure we got the opportunity to play. And it was something that he built and he invested, and he was investing in us. And the other piece of what Damon builds is relationships. Like Joe DeRossi, it is very difficult to go anywhere where you don't find somebody that knows Damon Bryan. And like when we went to Wenatchee for 2 weeks for the Wenatchee Complex Fire, Damon knew, I think, a third of the crowd, but it's in those settings where he doesn't know anybody, he doesn't leave the room without meeting at least 1 or 2 new people who will remember Damon forever. So building things and then building relationships are the things I remember and I appreciate about you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Huh? Yeah. So I had the opportunity to work with Damon throughout the years as well, and just to reiterate, the leadership that he possessed within the organization was absolutely amazing. But what's inspired me most about Damon is his leadership outside the organization, his involvement in the nonprofit world, his time, his giving of time, really is truly inspirational to me, and I think should be inspirational to all of us. It's not just about what we do organizationally, but it's what impact we can have on the community above and beyond our day-to-day jobs. And Damon really emulates that servant leader heart through his time with MDA, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, the time he spent at KIB working in the wood shop, and he's been plugged into so many different things. So Damon, thank you for your leadership in the organization and throughout the community.
So my relationship with Damon started when I was in middle school, actually. I spent a lot of time in his wife Teddy's house growing up with her brother. So he has plenty of stories, I'm sure, that he just needs to keep to himself. But he was paramount, and I can say with 100% certainty that I would not be here today if it wasn't for Damon. He helped me study through my processes. When I came in, he was my first training officer. There may or may not have been a psych issue coming in, and he stood up for me and said, hey, let's really look at this before we pass on this guy, so thank you for that always. But the depth of knowledge that I talked about, the institutional knowledge that he has, even in the contract, any policies, I can always go to him. I may have kind of got into a labor role that I didn't plan on, and thank you, Stovall. And as I've worked through stuff and in that position, even though he's gone and retired, he's still somebody I lean on and reach out to just for that historical piece. And that's what Damon, I will always remember about Damon, is he's just somebody you can go to and ask a question when in a time of need. So thank you.
The final thing I'll say about Damon, and maybe the thing I came to appreciate most later in my career, is Damon is a straight shooter. And more than once, Damon looked me square in the eye and said, "That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard." And those of you that promote up through the ranks, especially in public safety, know that that voice is harder and harder to get the higher in the organization you go. And I assure you, he had that conversation with me at my current rank. So I do sincerely appreciate that, Damon. And with that, we're going to have you come up, and we've got a shadow box for you. Okay, we got a little bit out of order, so we're going to mention a few more milestones. Again, if you're here and will stand up at each of these sections, we had Matthew Jubb. Are you here, Matthew? Matthew Jubb completed the paramedic program this year, so let's give him a round. That's a major investment. We have a few folks currently in paramedic school, and we certainly want to acknowledge that, and we'll be very happy to celebrate with them when they complete as well. But we have Walter Greer, Josh Englesey, Jason Garrison, Colton Roney, and Jonathan Witt currently in paramedic school. So let's give those folks a round of applause as well. And then we had one more of our members complete advanced EMT school, and that is Colin McCabe. I don't know if Colin's here, but let's give him a round of applause as well. And for those of you that have been around for any length of time at all, you know the partnership and investment that we've made with the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, Maryland. And we continue to invest in the community risk reduction program there. And we'd like to congratulate and acknowledge two of our members who have become certified as instructors at the Academy in 2023. That's James Hempstead and Jim Stovall. If you guys could stand up. Thank you. And then starting in 2014, we began cycling or sending cohorts through the Academy in the community risk curriculum or program. That was a new approach for the Academy. They had actually discouraged or not allowed cohorts to go back together, and we begged, pleaded, and made a case for being able to send people together through this program. And we've done that for most years, take a few out or a couple out for the pandemic, but other than that, we've had a cohort at the Academy in the community risk program nearly every year. 2023's cohort is Chad Miller, Steve Austin, Caleb Castleberry, Brian Bowe, I know Brian's here. Yep, there he is, and John Walling. We're very excited. One of the evolutions of the program that we had last year is that cohort is working on a capstone back in the organization. So they go through the week together at the Academy, and then they come back and put together a program to impact the community with what they've learned there. And next year, we will be celebrating that capstone project. It is going to be profoundly impactful, and we're very, very excited for that rollout in the community and to be able to celebrate with you guys next year as we get that thing off the ground. So let's give a hand to those five for their work at the Academy and the work in the community. Okay, I think that gets us through the whole program, right? All right. That concludes our celebration this morning. I want to thank everybody for being here. I know there's a lot of demands on time, and we're during the work day for a lot of people, so your ability to be here, whether you're in uniform or here supporting those in uniform, is very much appreciated. We hope to see you all next year, And as I said, plan for a little more time because we're going to have a big group of people coming out of Academy and heading into our workforce. We'll be talking to them next year about Station 76 that is being put up as we speak, with planned opening mid-year this year out in the Badger South community. So lots of great additional content next year to celebrate, and we'll look forward to seeing you all there. So thank you for being here this morning, and have a great day.